Welcome to the Irish Hunting Podcast, bringing you all the best hunting, fishing and field sports from around the country. Okay, welcome along to episode 17 of the Irish Hunting Podcast. On this week's episode, we'll be bringing you our interview with Padraig Breen from the NARGC. We'll also be giving you a roundup of news from our clubs and as well as some hunting trips planned for the week ahead. So sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy. Anthony Grogan, how are you keeping?
How are you, Bernie? How's things, man?
Not too bad, man. Not too bad. We are hoping and fingers crossed that this audio is going to be the best we've ever done.
We're in the big leagues now, Bernie.
We're in the big leagues. I just want to give a quick shout out to Derek McCraner from I think it's Enhance Acoustics in Edenderry, County Offaly, who gave us some serious pointers and some help on setting up this audio. So
if the audio is poor, it is not his fault. It's in those fucking ages.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. I could have fucked it up. So anyway, hopefully this is better anyway.
I think it's a good one, Bernie. Good one.
What's been going on, man?
All good. Busy week, man, as we were just saying.
Oh, man.
The podcast is kind of, well, rephrase that. Family and stuff is interfering with the podcast. Avril, if you're listening.
Avril, why are you so selfish?
You had to go and get pregnant.
Honestly, God, we didn't even touch on that. Congratulations, man, by the way.
Cheers, man.
It's super stuff. Delighted for you.
Yeah, so I'll have the carry thought here in episode 36 during the year.
Need to figure out how to drown a baby crying. Yeah. Honest to God, man. So, no, that's great news. Delighted. Happy days, man.
Might give you the Cooper's Crows and the Dooley or something.
I tell you, it's working wonders for me at the minute. I tell you, it's super stuff, isn't it?
Stuff, yeah.
Never even heard of it, man. Jemison, what is it? The Cooper's Crows.
Yeah, it was part of, I think there was 3 in this series, if I'm not mistaken. It was the Maker series, and I have a bottle of each at home, believe it or not, so we'll be able to sample the next one next week. But yeah, as you can see, it went down a nice treat. There's not a whole pile left in it, but yeah, lovely
stuff.
Vanilla and oaky. There's a fantastic flavours.
Lovely stuff. Speaking of which, I'm going to take another sample of it here now. But yeah, a nice little bit of cinnamon to it. Do you get a bit of cinnamon to it?
Yeah.
Ooh. Jeez, that's good stuff, man. Yeah.
I like that. As I say, yeah.
It's lovely.
So yeah, shout out to Jemison. Yeah, send us another bottle. We're nearly empty.
Absolutely. There's not a whole pile left now. Yeah.
That's the black barrel. We're after giving them a shout out. We're after giving.
Honest to God, people are going to seriously think we're sponsored by Jemison. We're not.
Yet.
Yeah.
What's happened in the club, Bernie?
What has been happening in the club? I was out there. When was I out there? We were out there last weekend and topped up all our bird feeders again because I think it's an essential part of it. Even at the end of the year, at the end of the season, if you obviously you should have bird stocks left over, so it's great to keep them there. A bird will only ever go to an empty feeder once, is the famous saying.
Yeah.
So we went out there. We had a couple of bags of grain, so we just kind of went through it, sifted through it, got the good stuff, filled our feeders, and had a general look around the place, checked any vermin traps, and everything's looking good. Still plenty of birds around, so happy days.
Good stuff.
Happy days. What's been going on with yourself?
There was a bit of a fox drive on Sunday. Not much success actually. It was bad enough morning, So what wasn't a whole pile of movement, so the boys didn't have much joy. But myself and Rob actually got out on Monday morning, last minute kind of shoot for deer, and we trekked like mountains of Sion. We trekked 17-18 kilometers to the best part of that morning to mid-afternoon shoot, and came across a lovely big dog fox, which I had to take out, and just on the periphery of the Gun Club grounds. So yeah, it was one less, and that kind of spiked my interest to go back out on Tuesday or Wednesday night. I can't remember. I think it was Wednesday night.
Was it Wednesday night? Yeah. Tuesday.
No, Tuesday night.
Yeah. Tuesday night.
Not last night. Did you? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got geared up. It was bitter. Cold.
Yeah.
I have a little video there. I think it was -2 in the van.
Jeez.
So I went out with the pulsar and the sniper hog and went to throw the rifle over my shoulder and my swivel, which has been giving me a little bit of jip. It's been coming out of me wooden stock semi-regularly, you know.
Okay.
So I'm going to have to try to attend to that. Came off and down she went. I caught kind of midway down. The just clipped the IR off the side of my belt where my knife was, and so when I pulled up on the sticks, I had the IR nearly bang in.
It was off, was it?
Yeah. So anyway, look at huge activity, man, out there.
Unbelievable.
Seen, I think I saw you 7, 8 foxes.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so it was plenty, and I called one in. The first video I sent you, called one in to, I think, probably 160, 170 and around that.
Okay.
Heading for the drain. Had a little shout at him, see if I could get him to stop. When I told you this, it was a bugbear of mine all night because I was out shooting on my own. I was supposed to be accompanied, but unfortunately, some nights on your own.
Okay, all right.
But yeah, have a little torch, you know.
Yeah.
Just a bit clunky to try and get it on the tripod. And you have to get everything dialed in. I don't like having the IR on and the torch on because John puts on you know.
Yeah.
So you're trying to get the torch on, then torch back into the pocket, and then get the sticks moving, and the night vision just takes a little second to adjust, as you know, when you're moving.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And the fucker's moving, so everyone was just a bit clunky.
Right.
I can't wait. Sniper Hawk sent me over my lovely new head torch, so I can't fucking wait. I think that's arriving hopefully tomorrow.
Deadly.
So it'll be a nice birthday present.
Oh yeah, honest to fuck, yeah. 21 tomorrow.
21 tomorrow, yeah. Still no fucking sense. Yeah, but went. I in the video you'll see. He did a fair book lap, the first one, as you've seen.
Yes.
Kind of threw the legs out, but it was slightly under. Went on then, and the next guy sat looking at me, was now more interested in coming anywhere near me. Just sat up looking and said, what the fuck do you want? Sat out there about 350 yards in between a couple of sheep, and was coming no further.
No further, right.
So,
right.
And that set the tone. But I stayed out till 1:45.
Jesus Christ, man.
And it started to snow, but I was saying my torch went dead essentially. But weirdly, I was voicemailing you and Rob on the way home, and just was nowhere I'd rather be, man.
Oh, savage.
Snow pelting up in the middle of the bog.
Yeah.
A little bit eerie on the other side, but you're on your own. What kind of...
Why were you scared?
As Rob said, what kind of a pervert who's up around the bog at 1:30 in the morning on your own with a torch?
Yeah, honest to God.
So, yeah.
Weirdo.
Yeah, but loved it.
Yeah,
loved it.
Cannot be, especially I think it kind of goes hand in hand with kind of this weather that we're having. It's just savage, isn't it? It's just ideal for it. It's like, I think it's kind of, you know, the way loads of people are into this now, swimming, you know, the ice baths and all this. I think it's kind of a form of that, if that makes sense, you know.
Absolutely, there's a grounding element to it. You know, there's the harsh wind in your face. Obviously, it was cold, you know.
Yeah.
But I was well cared out of me lovely new gloves from Wild Hunter, which you picked up for me.
Yeah,
brilliant. I forgot them actually in the first part. The first kind of walk I went on, forgot them, and I did not forget them in the second one. So
lesson learned.
Mm-hmm. But yes, but the big thing that I've probably learned from the little tour, obviously I didn't shoot anything, or I shot at something but didn't shoot it.
Yeah.
Was that huge need now to do? We have a lot of work to do in the club.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of work to do in the club, you know, because. You know, way too many foxes.
Way too many. That's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah.
That's madness altogether, yeah.
So,
I thought you were going to say one thing you learned is that you're going to go back to a set of quad sticks.
No,
you're sticking with that.
I think my zero could be off as well, but I love it.
Okay.
The good thing is I know what I did wrong. Right?
Yeah, well, that's true. Yeah, well, exactly. You'll learn. You'll learn. You'll absolutely learn.
I need to, two things. I want a zero at 150 and 200.
Yeah.
That's my next thing. And the head torch and the turbo pill for
It's going to be some job.
Oh, jeez, yeah.
Holy shit, man. Floodlight the field.
Fucking up, he's fuck's safe from here to Belfast.
That's the God, yeah. Fucking
if he's there, we'll still take him out.
We shout him out. We don't discriminate at all.
Oh, no.
Yeah, not fair fucking play, man, yeah.
Yeah,
it's weird. You get nights. I went out, when did I go? I must have went out Monday night, I think, with my new 1.7, all set up with the ATN, and got a phone call from a farmer just up the road from me, sheep farmer, a couple of lambs after coming out. And he was telling me he was coming down the field and him checking the stock, and walked over, kind of seen a sort of a drain, saw 3 foxes down at the drain, and as he got closer, 3 more got up. There was 6 foxes. Feasting on a lamb that was after been lost. So he lost 2. There was 2 gone that night. So he rang me to see would I come up. So I says, yeah, no problem whatsoever. More than happy to help you out. Had everyone, it was a frosty night, late tonight, but again, it was still good conditions because it wasn't a full moon, it was a new moon, so it wasn't overly bright. Everyone was grand. There was still some carcasses, I think, or there was still some bits and pieces of left over. So I thought I had nothing to do, walk down to this spot, and I was just going to be how many I was going to get. And I walked the whole place, not one. So strange.
Yeah, you can be guaranteed they're after knocking something a fresh bit of meat somewhere else.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can walk down to.
The time of the year.
Absolutely,
they'll be knocking them left, right, and centre. And that's, again, look, I know this is not a nice thing for people to that probably don't understand hunting, but from our element, this is the reality of it.
Absolutely.
So there's a half feasted on lamb, but the next night when them foxes go out and they stumble upon another little vulnerable lamb somewhere else, they'll just pick that one instead of the herd going back to that one.
So which is cute? Which the people that the aunties, which is the cuter one? I think wasn't it John Dutton that said it? John Dutton from Yellowstone said it very well. What is it? How cute does your food? What is it? How cute?
Does your food have to be before you care?
Yeah. How cute does something have to be before you care whether it lives or dies? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that probably sums it up.
That is, yeah. Now John Dutton, I think, said it better.
Not the two of us couldn't fucking say it. So just saying, Avril, I've been looking at cowboy hats there for at least the last 3 months. But Avril said if I come home with a cowboy hat,
it might suit your personality, man. I think a bit of a cowboy is. Imagine a builder. Imagine just like pulling up in your van, like a new prospective new client's house, getting out with a big Stetson.
How do you like that extension?
Like that? Is it the board gosh hat or something? I'm here to wear your new hob. Oh, for fuck's sake! Holy jizz. Classic. Fucking hell, not so bad. I suppose we better bring this interview and let people know.
Padraig, we've been looking forward to this one.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's the first time having the NARGC on, and it won't be the last time.
No. 100%. We're going to bring that to you, and hopefully you will enjoy it. So here is Padraig Breen from the NARGC. Padraig Breen, welcome along to the Irish Hunting Podcast.
How are we, Padraig?
Good evening, gentlemen.
How's things?
Good, and thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure to be on the podcast. It's a novelty for me, so be gentle with me, as they say, and we'll hopefully produce a program that people will want to listen to.
Absolutely. Hopefully it becomes a regular rather than a novelty part. We'll get you on again. Kicking and screaming.
Good.
Without doubt. Well, I suppose for those that don't know, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself, maybe, if you don't mind?
Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Untethered and Wanderwise, where adventure has no age limit. We're your co-host, Heidi Brandis and Nikki Mahundro, and we're here to inspire and celebrate women over 45 who are embracing their independence and want to explore the world on their own terms.
My name is Padraig Breen. I'm the Game Development Officer with the NARGC. I'm married to Breda with 3 kids. I'm a member of the NARGC since I was 16 years of age. I was elected to the executive as Youth Development Officer in 2014. I was elected as Wexford Regional Game Council Secretary in 2011, I did 3 years with the National Executive, and I'm back now as Game Development Officer. So I enjoy the position, and I work as I'm a full-time supplies officer with the HSE, and I have a small suckler farm as well.
No, you are a busy man.
And you remember the NARGC for the last 2 years?
No, executive for the last 2 years.
Clear
that up in case Chris Gavigan is asking questions about my compensation fund renewals. But, I'm back again on the executive, and it's good to be back. And I'm Game Development Officer now. It's a position that I've wanted to have a crack at for a while. It's probably one of the core positions. What does it entail? Traditionally, the position would have been discussing, passing on information and knowledge on game propagation, some predator control. We now have Kevin Sadler as a predator control officer, so that makes things a good bit easier on that front. It's now, I feel now, we're moving more and more to studies and research and collecting data and being in a position where the association can challenge some of the things that those who are not too keen on hunting are putting out there that has become a threat to our sport.
Yep.
Look at where we need to push more on our bag returns. We've started a wing survey on our migratory duck species. We have a long-running woodcock wing survey.
Yeah.
Richie Delaney is now running our woodcock wing returns. We get a lot. We get a fair few, probably 1,700, maybe 2,000 every year woodcock wings in. That data up to now has been given us the breakdown between juvenile and adult. I'd say now this year Richie has branched out, and we're working on a project just to evaluate for the month of November how many of the woodcock that we bag are Irish bred and how many are migratory.
Yes.
One of the issues coming against woodcock shooting at the minute is Irish bred woodcock aren't breeding as successfully as in the past, and are we shooting too many of them? Now, for me, I can't answer that question. I'd like to. This part of this research is going to help us to evaluate what percentage are homebred woodcock. Look, and probably
that probably feeds in, Padraig. I think like that probably is an essential part, because if you talk to the people, the anti-hunters, they're going to say, well, we're shooting way too many. And if you talk to the hunters, they're going to say, we're not shooting anywhere near that. So as you say there, the data correlation is a necessity there to try to improve the theory one way or the other, I suppose. You know?
Look, we all know people have been making it. Hunters are probably as bad as anyone making arguments against collecting this data because we're cutting a stick to bait ourselves.
Yeah.
We're not cutting a stick to bait ourselves. The defense of our sport will depend on having accurate data and figures.
Yeah.
And if a species is under pressure, well, the first ones to want to know about it are us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we don't want to see any species under pressure or not producing a harvestable surplus that we can take.
Yeah.
If there's not a harvestable surplus, it's unsustainable. And
absolutely,
we're not here to promote unsustainable hunt.
Yeah, we can introduce measures, and I presume then to.
Well, I think as well. You know, just like touching on what you're saying there, which is, you know, it's all super stuff. It's great. It's stuff that I would believe definitely is long overdue. It needed to be done, and I think as well as what you're saying there, I think most gun clubs, and especially I would say ones that are entwined with the NARGC, are are doing a lot of the conservation work in their own right. Do you know, I think everyone, both of our gun clubs, any gun club I know, are taking measures themselves to ensure the preservation of game birds. You know, there's no clubs out there rearing 200 birds and going out and harvesting 200 birds. You know, that sort of way.
No.
And they put a lot of measures in place there to try and preserve.
And it's the work around that. Like, we were putting out feed for our pheasants, or we're doing some vermin control, but that's benefiting other species.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Like, we probably don't blow our own trumpet in that case enough. We don't crow about the good things we're doing. Like, I was up in Mount Mellick judging a club of the year. What the guys are doing up there is phenomenal. They really are doing phenomenal work up there. Predator control, rearing, like they're rearing their own birds. They're ensuring that somebody gets hunting for the spread of the whole season, and they're really involved in one another. But we don't crow enough about that.
No, couldn't agree more. Yeah.
For a long time, I suppose with hunters, we kind of said, keep the head down, don't draw attention to yourself. The antis are making statements, but keep your head down, don't stand about it, it'll pass. And we're probably gone past that stage now. We kind of have to go on the attack and say, well, look at our grey partridge project. Like, we've 11 clubs involved in grey partridge projects. We're working now in conjunction with Parks and Wildlife. We're trying to put the grey partridge back in its native habitat. And of those 11 clubs, not one of those clubs will get a chance to harvest grey partridge. But still, they're making the effort to go out there and put that bird back there.
Absolutely, 100%. Like, I talk about our own gun club for a minute, because it's the only one I sort of know what's going on. Our gun club, we've 10, 11 members in our gun club, right? There would not be a weekend that would go by that there wouldn't be 2 or 3 of us out there on a Saturday or a Sunday, actively lads doing vermin control. Since we started that club, we've ponds in, we've mallard ponds in, we have mallard none of that aren't being shot. We have mallard nest boxes up on a vermin-proof island that we put in to allow them to successfully breed. We have almost, I'd say, we wouldn't have far off 10 acres of game crop between the whole that we sowed, that between the whole club. We've bat boxes, we've kestrel boxes, owl boxes, beehives. Do you know what I'm sort of saying? We're not just the lads that are rearing a couple of 100 pheasants, throwing them out onto the field, arriving the 1st of November and blowing them off.
To popular voice of opinion.
There's 580 acres of game crop sown in Ireland last year that was funded by gun clubs and the NARGC. That's a fair scale of feeding for all wild birds. It's not going to be all eaten by pheasants. That's a fair chunk of habitat that's there because guys put their hand in their pocket, bought the seed, gave it to a farmer, and he sowed it there.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So like we've a good bit to be proud of. There never is a year that goes by that we're not creating 2 or 3 ponds somewhere. Members of gun clubs, 50%, usually 50% funded by the NARGC and the rest by the club. Go and dig a pond somewhere in some corner. A farmer will give you permission. We're putting it in so we maybe get a shot at a mallard or a couple of teal. Think of all the insects and invertebrates and amphibians that make that a home within 5 years. Think of all the plants. You go back after a few years and you don't recognize, you dug a hole, it looked a plain hole when you started. And now you think it was there for 100 years.
Absolutely.
We have to give ourselves credit for the work we're doing. But again, with that, I think we have to be given a little bit of credit from government departments that, we're not the bad guys. Sure, we take a harvestable surplus, but we're putting a bit back as well. And
hence probably why we, myself and Brandy, were long enough giving out about people kicking back against us, and we just kind of got sick of it, and hence the idea of the podcast came about. It was kind of, we all felt similar to yourself there. You said you almost keep the head down, duck, and if we hide in the corner, they won't notice us. They
won't know.
Our corner was getting smaller and smaller, and yet the ironic thing about it was the conservation element. We were doing as much, if not more, than anyone about, but we weren't we weren't front and center of the argument. We were the unwanted cousin at the wedding.
Yeah. Honest to God, yeah, exactly. Yeah, we've a lot to be proud of, and an awful lot to be proud of.
Tell us a bit more about the I know myself. I was my chairman of my club this year. A good honour, and we've done a few bits and pieces. But the bag count, I was telling Brenny's club has joined the NARGC this year.
Yeah. This is we're back
historically with them, and it went back.
Correct and right. Yeah. We're back with the NARGC this year. Yeah.
And
we have a long running. Obviously, we have a long running bag count scheme in the NARGC. Now, the Board's directive, I think it's the Board's directive, is in each country is kind of obligated to produce bag returns. Ireland has been an outlier in that for a while, because while the NARGC are collecting bag returns, they're not collected on a national basis. Actually, interestingly, in Denmark, it was a recent wing workshop. Denmark, it's compulsory, and Sweden, it's not compulsory. And there was a pretty good argument at that meeting, which was better. And I'm not a lot the wiser which is better. But anyhow, we have our wing survey, we have our bag return survey, and this year I tried to use the bag return to see if we could put a figure on our national harvest. And I don't know, we're getting probably somewhere in the region of 300 to 400 bag returns. How do you extrapolate that out across 26,000 members?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in America, if you fill out your state hunting license, at that time you fill out a HIP survey. And what the HIP survey asks you is, did you shoot mallard last year? Did you shoot woodcock? Did you shoot teal? What? You don't give a number, but you tick a box whether you hunted that species last year.
Mm-hmm.
So at the national shoot, I produced a quick tick box leaflet, and I got as many people at it as I could to fill out. And that was giving me roughly then an idea of what the average gun club member was hunting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I used that in conjunction with our bag return survey, and I kind of put a figure on what our national harvests are. And to be fair, the vast majority of them are fairly consistent year on year. Now, the flaw in my whole plan was I did it at the national shoot. And when you think about it, everybody at the national shoot is a stone mad shooting person.
Yeah.
And they're going to shoot winter and summer, and they're not going to miss a day. Whereas your average gun club, we're going to have 25 lads that never miss a day. You're going to have another 25% that I go out when I can, but there's kids now and I don't get out as often as I would. And then you have a couple of guys that go out to open a day and go out Christmas, and you probably have another 25% that have always been in the gun club, value being in the gun club, value the fact that the card, when it's presented to the guards when they're renewing their license, saves an awful lot of argument, but they don't actually shoot anymore.
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
So that's probably skewing our figures. Now, what I did learn from the HIP survey was about 70% of our members will shoot woodcock. About 70% or 72% will shoot mallard. Mallard is pretty high. Of the species we hunt, mallard is up there. And I think next to them is teal, if I remember correctly. And obviously cock pheasants are up there. But I was surprised at how high mallard was figuring on it.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of the things that had been troubling me since it was first announced. Do you remember Birdwatch Ireland came out and said mallard numbers were back 40% in the last 20 years?
Yeah.
They said that in front of a agriculture committee, a governmental agricultural committee, and I'm thinking, well, if that's the case, it's fairly shocking.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been doing a bit of research in that area, and the national figure for mallard in the last iWeb's report was 18,810 for the Republic of Ireland, and I thought that was pretty low, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
So we've recently done a survey amongst our own RGCs, just to see how many mallard we're releasing, and we're releasing 12,716 mallard. That's a fair chunk of 18,000.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to ask if the 18,000 figure is in any way accurate, and I think, to be honest, it's questionable.
Yeah.
We also did along this year, if you remember, in February we did a waterfowl count.
Yeah.
And at the end of the season, 200 of our members lined out. We asked them to go to where they normally hunt, go back there then on the first weekend in February and count the birds that you see. And a national figure we got for mallard was 7,776 at the end of the season. Like, we had hunted all season. A small section of our members went out and did a survey, and they still counted nearly 8,000 mallard. I think that 18,000 figure now leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I agree with you. Yeah,
I suppose the big thing it highlights there, Padraig, is the necessity for Golden Club members of the NARGC anyway to get behind this the bag count. It's very. I've been using it for the first time this year. I have to say. I was saying to Brandy, it's very easy to use. Your membership number, you log on. It's a drop down menu. Click on. It takes you, I don't know, less than 2 minutes.
Yeah. It takes a commitment. It doesn't take an awful lot of time, but it takes commitment. But I have to say, I used to do the paper bag return, and you don't fill out till the end of the season, and you go back through a diary and did you write it in the diary? What I like about the online system that we have now on the new website is I'll shoot for the weekend, for a while Saturday, for a while Sunday, and sit down Sunday night, power up the laptop or the iPhone, put in your bag return, and you're done.
Yeah.
How would it take? 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The advantage, the problem we were having with the paper bag return is, fairness to Richard Delaney, he gave serious hours putting in bag return forms onto the website. It takes forever. This way, in fairness to the members, they're putting in the data and it's uploaded straight away, and we have the figures at the press of a button.
Yeah.
I think it shows from an NARGC point of view, we're making an effort here. We have provided an online portal for our members to collect their bag returns.
Yeah, 100%.
We're paying for it. Our members are paying for it.
Yes.
So I mean, we're again. It's more that we're doing that we probably don't get enough credit for.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, without a shadow of a doubt.
Padraig, just is there any plans maybe to I know look at one step at a time, but for like an app, an NARGC app that you could the members could have on the phone as you're out hunting and having a cup of tea on the hunt.
We used to use one when I was out in Australia. There was a great one that I can't remember. It was the New South Wales, I suppose, they were the Environmental Wildlife Authority, and it was in the form of an app. And say if you were out, we'd be out hunting deer. It was all supposed for the preservation. But say if I knocked a deer, I could go on within open up the app, bang, deer got. Wouldn't have to follow it or anything. Deer got, and you can give the location, the time of day and stuff, and it was just. But because it was just so handy, lads on the phone, and then there was like a sort of a community. It was almost like a separate social media thing for hunters. So lads really got proactive, and women of course got really proactive in sort of filling it out, and it was such a handy day. You could go on and it'd give you loads of information that you wouldn't have to go route. Do you know what I mean? Like with any announcements, it was all on it. It was something nice.
Definitely the app would be better. I don't think our current program at the minute will take in data from an app. Where some of us are saving the bag return, the NARGC website to the phone, which it's a bit clunky. It doesn't always work straightforward. There is a free app available. David Scallon had been talking to us about it. If we can get that to work in conjunction with the website, well, the app is the better option.
Yeah.
It's interesting that you're saying feedback. The time I spent in Denmark in April, one of the things that they impressed upon us was, if you're asking a hunter to contribute data, he needs to be able to get feedback on that. The Danish model, at the end of the year, you get an email from the Wing Survey. You get an email detailing what you shot, detailing where you shot, detailing the age breakdown of the species, where you were on that particular day, and what your local area, how your local area hunted that year. Like, you've got to give feedback back to the hunters. It's to engage them, to bring them on, to keep them.
Yeah.
Funnily, one of the things they said was, the guys or girls, whoever contribute to the Wing Survey or the bag return, they tend to shoot more. They tend to put more, I suppose it's probably a fact that they're more into their hunt. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah,
But
they're more proactive.
Statistically, they shoot more, they hunt more.
Mm-hmm.
So look, I take them on board the point about the app. So we'll look into that.
Yeah, it'll be great.
With say the NARGC, do you find at present, like, say, government backing, have they got? Would you have any members that would be, politically, can get support? Have you got support in any of the government agencies?
Everyone fighting our corner.
Yeah.
What I'm noticing for the last year, like, it's very hard for us to get traction in any government department. Yes. Like, we send just on a boy. I wrote to Charlie McConnell twice, trying to get a meeting with the Acres team, the new Department of Agriculture scheme, environmental scheme, because, as I said previously, we contribute so much on bird cover. We'd like to have our tuppence in the argument. And there's a few other things. I wanted to get duck nest tubes included the same way as barn owl boxes were.
Yes.
I wrote to Charlie McConnell twice, and I wrote to the Acres team. Eventually, on the second email, I got an answer back from Charlie McConnell, and he set up we had a Zoom meeting with the Acres team, and everything was grand. Again, too late, they said, to make any major changes. But we've been over 2 years trying to have a conversation with them. And then I opened my Twitter 2 days ago, and the Irish Wildlife Trust are invited into Agriculture House for a meeting with the Department of Agriculture, and we get a Zoom meeting. I find that very frustrating. We've 26,000 members, which is a considerable voting bloc. Yet nobody wants to engage with us. Nobody wants to listen to our point of view. Nobody wants to say, well, like, at the moment, as you know, there's the birds derogation. There's an online survey out. Now, you go down through the survey, and question 12 is, on a scale to 1 to 100, how many actions did you do under the birds declaration? Now, I reckon I'm fairly clued in on the birds declaration, but I have not got a clue what that question is asking. So I sent off an email to Parks and Wildlife, and I'll tell you the truth, the response I got back was less. Like, they should come to us. Our membership are the ones using the birds, the derogation for predator, as a target predator control in the springtime, and for other reasons, when we're helping farmers at different times of the year for different reasons. And, like, why not come to us and frame the questions around that?
Well, I think absolutely. We were chatting to Keith Foran, your colleague, the other day, and we were just shooting the breeze, and we were sort of saying, we need to be. This is our point of view anyway, or my opinion on it anyway. That we need to be more vocal into the figures that we put back in the exchequer, because I think if cumulatively you take every hunting and fishing shop in the country, yourselves, the conservation work, the game crop, the tourism, like, cumulatively, there's
millions.
There's a few bob there,
Well, a few bob. You're moving into a personal peeve of mine. Irish hunters, I suppose, gun owners are contributing 5.9 million per year in license fees to the state. That's not a tax; it's a license fee.
Yes.
We don't get a penny back. We don't get a penny back.
No.
Nothing goes into conservation. Nothing goes into the running of our associations. Nothing like education. We now, when you apply for a deer license, you have to have HCAP or the NARGC stalkers course or the equivalent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we expect the hunter to pay for that.
Yeah.
That should be paid by government from our license fee.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
You run the course, and we send in the bill. We had 30 people at the course last week. We get paid. We get paid back.
At the very least,
no, we don't.
Yeah,
we're asking. We have a problem. We're told we have a problem, and we are, certainly in particular areas there is a problem with deer populations.
Absolutely,
but we're actually putting more obstacles in the way of. I don't stalk deer, but I probably should, and I will do the deer stalkers course when the opportunity comes up. But I have to buy a rifle. I have to do the deer stalkers course. I have to have 100 acres of land to get my license.
Yeah.
If I have 99, I won't qualify. There's a lot. We know why the obstacles are put in front of hunters, but they shouldn't be.
The irony, Padraig, the irony of this is just today our Green Minister, Eamon Ryan, I think, released it. I mean, saying we have to cull deer. Okay. I know for a fact. I don't think he's come to yourselves for any sort of consultation about that. But you would imagine he would at least speak to the people who are out there,
100%,
contributing to controlling the deer numbers as it is, you know.
Yeah. But sure, that's a typical government thing. You know what I mean? They'll take that from there was a minister for transport and bang him into as minister of health, and he not knowing two adjacent things. The first
his response came because one of our environmental groups did a blog last week to say that the fallow deer in the Phoenix Park should be removed. Got rid of all of them. The fallow deer in the Phoenix Park are a park deer and they're managed. They're set quotas, everything. Now, whatever about changing the quota on the culls, cull more or whatever, if you want this or that or the other. Yeah. But removing all the deer from the Phoenix Park, what was really, the people of Dublin, it's the only deer they're probably going to see. Like, I don't see, and if we have a problem with deer, the problem with deer is a long ways outside the Phoenix Park.
Absolutely.
It's populism. It's,
100%.
Same way, like IFA currently have a problem with TV transmission from deer, and I don't really want to be harping on about deer to cattle, but I just find the whole deer area to be quite amazing. But they have set up, the Department of Agriculture set up a committee to look at the problem, and the problem is no, I'm gone here now, sorry lads.
We have you.
That's okay. The problem is a deer management problem, but there's not one representative of any of the hunting organizations on that committee.
Yeah. So this is what we're saying. This is it. How in the name of Jesus are they supposed to come to some sort of an agreement or some sort of a plan that's functional when they don't know the first thing about it?
Ask the men who are out there every day. We're out there stalking. We do a bit of stalking ourselves. We're out there stalking every day. Yeah. We can tell you, there's solutions there ready made, and you wouldn't have to be a rocket scientist. Of course.
Ask the guys who are willing to do it for free. Who are willing to harvest deer meat, feed their families out of it.
Yeah, but look
after their neighbours.
Yeah. And that's all we do. We don't hope and
it seems to be a no-brainer, yet we're not involved.
No, 100%, yeah.
So the last part of the discussion, yeah.
Then the gas thing about it is, right, so say the likes of, like, myself and Annie, we're both licensed deer hunters. We've got all the stuff that we have to, we meet the criteria, right? And as you're saying, we've went on and we've paid the big money for the high caliber guns. We've done whatever all courses that we had to do. We've got our 100 acres of land. We've got We've had firearms officers out to the house checking storage. We've had the whole works of it, right? And yet, I know a fella who was telling me he has had a couple of trail cameras set up the other night and met 4 lads in the middle of the night dragging 3 deer out through the wood. So, we're trying to do it properly and meet all the criteria. And then there's obviously lads out there going out probably with no license, probably not the design caliber going the whole job lad. And sure, obviously they're not going to stop like.
A lot of the regulations seem to just they seem to be affecting the legal hunter more so than anyone that's poaching.
Yes.
I recently bought another shotgun, and I can't begin to explain how long it took for me to get the license.
It's crazy.
It was absolutely crazy. A firearms officer came here to the house. Now, don't get me wrong, he did his job. He had to hear the alarm. Mm-hmm. Now, as it happened, I couldn't get the alarm working, whatever I was doing wrong. It is working. So he said, send me a WhatsApp of it when it's going. So, of course, he wasn't going out the door. I got it going, send a WhatsApp. Oh, he says, I need that to be outside. So I had to go back outside and take a video of the alarm going off on the outside. Like, some of the stuff we're putting up with is just
outrageous.
Like, it's just, it's no wonder, like,
I often say,
young guys starting off lose heart.
If you're going to commit a crime with a gun, unless you're Ireland's thickest criminal, you won't be using your own licensed firearm. The people who you have to worry about is the people who have no license and are carrying firearms, not the guys who have firearm or gun safes and members of clubs and
100%.
They're the last people you need to be worried about.
No, I mean,
I often give the example of, we were talking to a fella at a show down. He was down, I think it was Cork or Kerry direction, or he was down that direction somewhere, and he was telling us a story of when he went for his deer license. He was brought in front of the superintendent at the time, or a step-in superintendent, or whatever it was anyway. And it says to him, you're looking for a license there, for a 308. I am. But you have a 2-2. I have a 2-2, yeah. And he says, you have the deer license here, yeah. So why do you need the 308? He says, because I want to go hunting deer. But why don't you just use the 2-2? He says, well, because that's illegal.
And that hits a lot of it too. Sometimes the guy on the other side of the desk or the woman on the other side doesn't actually know the difference.
100%, yeah, definitely, yeah.
It's an under-resourced area, Padraig.
It is, yeah. And like, it'll be the benefit of them, and it's not. I'm a firm believer. It's not so much that it's the fault of that particular superintendent, or that they're probably obviously have to be given a job and probably not the proper training. Do you know what I mean? It's just.
I often thought that when an RGC is running one of their proficiency courses, go ahead and ring the local station and say, we're running a proficiency course on Sunday or Saturday. Do you want to send somebody over? And look, even if you only show them a side by side and over and under the Nahamahic, how to load them, how to unload them, what they're used for. Like, you'd be building a bit of a bridge and you'd be helping somebody.
We got you there, Padraig. Are you there? Well, that's just typical technical difficulties, isn't it?
Yeah, we've just lost Padraig there.
We've just lost Padraig there, but we're going to have him back on the podcast fairly shortly, because we've a ton of other stuff we need to go through anyway.
Yeah.
But for that, we'll wrap it up there with Padraig, and we hope you all enjoyed that.
Thanks a million, Padraig.
Thanks, Padraig. Right, that was our interview there with Padraig from the NARGC.
He's a game development officer there, great interview.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Dropped out just at the end. He lost internet connection on Padraig's end there. So if there's a government minister trying to interject in our meeting here, we know which is at.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to stop us now.
No, exactly. We need to sort out rural Ireland there a little bit as well. Yeah. It can't be this day and age losing out losing out internet connections in the middle of an interview like that. But
Yeah.
anyway, apologies about that. We certainly will be having Padraig on again, as well as some other of the representatives from the NARGC.
Yeah. So look forward to that. It's going to be an ongoing thing. So if people want any questions, and I know we brushed a few things there with Padraig, but we've other bits and pieces that we want to discuss.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know from my club, just questions I'd love to delve more into.
Absolutely.
It's a nice intro, and it's hopefully the start of a little bit of a relationship that we can dip in and out and hopefully cross promote what's going on in the clubs and what the clubs are really doing on the ground.
Absolutely, 110%. Yeah, couldn't agree more. A couple of things he touched on there we thought was very interesting. The money. Well,
the money. We start with the money. The money's the big one.
The money's the big one there. Like I would have never. It does make sense when you think about it.
9 million
euros a year on
license
fee just alone. Like that's serious. Like holy shit, man.
So that's without and not 1 cent of that.
Not 1 cent
goes back into the hunting.
Yeah, that's wrong. That needs to change.
I know in America that's different. I think what they do is they utilize the money from hunting.
Yeah,
a percentage that goes right back into the conservation average.
That's brilliant.
Yeah,
absolutely. Because by helping conservation, you're helping hunting. It's a.
And just for people again who don't really understand, the license fee, the license fees is different than your membership to the NARGC.
Oh yeah, of course.
So for the what would you say, the lay members of our community who are listening here now, we pay 70 or 80 bucks, I think, for our license fee every couple of years.
Yeah. 85 euro or something like that. Yeah, every 3 years, yeah.
For each firearm.
For each firearm.
And then on top of that, we have our membership to the NARGC, which covers our insurance.
Yes.
And that works out at
50 or 56 euro, I think, something along the lines of that. 50 euro maybe.
So there you go. So you've nearly another 3/4 of that, right? Because the NARGC obviously utilise that money and they pump that back into conservation projects, game crop subsidies, pheasant subsidies. So again, it just proves the point. And that's only a small portion of the. That's not including the tax on ammunition and guns, VAT, and every lure or spinner or round or cartridge that you buy. That goes back in. It's astronomical, the amount of money.
The money, 100%. The tourism on its own is absolutely unbelievable.
Padraig, you just mentioned there, 26,000 members, right?
Yeah.
So conservatively, right, me and you both did a rough estimate. We'd probably drop conservatively 1,500 quid to $2,000
a year. Easy, I'd say.
Right?
I'd say a normal person.
But there's people
a lot more.
So at 26,000 members, you average that $1,000 a head.
You know
what I'm saying? Which wouldn't be a high spend over a season for hunter.
Not a chance, man.
You're up there at another 260,000.
Yeah,
just on.
That's
that's a very conservative.
Very, 100%. You could spend that like Jesus, with the price of ammunition ever at the minute, €1,000 doesn't go very long.
No,
and that's only for the there's tons of other things that go hand in hand with it that you don't probably account for.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's the way it is. I also say one thing I would take for the interview, and I didn't know Padraig prior to this, but
sorry, I miscalculated there. It's 2.6 million, not 206,000. So
I kind of thought that, and I didn't want to say it because then his eye looked like a complete idiot.
It's fucking 9 o'clock. I'm after a gallon of whiskey.
I hope you're not the one that gives quotes for fucking houses.
I thought it'd be great to get the 2 and the 6 into the sentence.
It's just that decimal place. When it's in the wrong place, it's a fucker.
Looking at the price in your extension.
No, but I just will say, like that with Padraig there, didn't know him prior to this. This is the first time I actually had properly chatted to him. And one thing I take away, it seems that himself and the other, not just members, but the representatives of the NARGC all have one common goal, that it's the same as ours, effectively, isn't it? Like they want to I suppose, not have to feel hidden about what we're doing. They want to promote what we're doing.
Yeah.
You know, which I suppose is the main reason we done this podcast in the first place.
It's time to step out of the shadows.
Exactly, step out of the shadows. This is what we're doing. We're more than proud of it. And yeah, this is the conservation effort that's going in, and they share the same concerns with us, I suppose, as regards to licensing and how long things can take and so on and so forth.
Without us, Brenny, without us, conservation in this country will be in a far worse place.
100%.
So we know this, and this is not.
Yeah.
I'm in no fucking doubt about this.
100%.
Because there's no other group that's doing the surveys that we're doing. There's no other group that's doing the conservation stuff on the scale that we're doing it. Like 26,000 members. We should have a voice in either the Oireachtas or in fucking Dáil Éireann. You know, like somebody should be speaking. I don't recall the last time somebody had something positive to say about the gun clubs. Yeah. Or the NARGC or countries or any of the hunting community. Yeah. There's a huge the fishing and the hunting in this country, the tourism.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Like we're teetering the edges, a couple of million here and there. But collectively we're talking huge money here.
Without a shadow of a doubt. And as well as that, huge money, huge numbers. A fella said it, I can't remember who it was that said it, but like was very well spoken. What's two things that's in every parish in Ireland? A GAA club and a gun club. Do you know the numbers? That's a fact that are out there. Do you know?
I think Shane O'Neill was on the radio show.
It was exactly.
The
said it very, very well. It's the next biggest thing to the GAA in Ireland. Is every town in Ireland, and they're all doing fantastic things. And it's not only that, like when it comes to conservation, it's not only that we are rearing birds and that we're doing effective means of keeping vermin down and helping wild birds. It's not only that we're doing this; it's that those 26,000 people, the knowledge they have collectively
of the countryside,
wildlife, you know how it works, you know effective ways of rearing stuff, eradicating certain things. There's no one in the country.
Who's going to give that feedback? If the fishermen aren't giving back the data that that river's polluted or that's not holding, that's not spawning this year. Yeah. Like this is real time data that's been the same as if Padraig touched on it there with woodcock and mallard. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Without the people that are on it, like if we were to step out of that conversation in the morning, everyone lay down their arms and stuff. Who's going to monitor this? Who's going to provide the nesting areas? Who's going to build the lakes?
100%, without a doubt.
There's very few people that would, or very few organisations, and each one does a very good. Like Border Ireland do a very good job. I'm not saying they don't, but like we have a huge amount of men on the ground and women. And these are that do the back-breaking work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, 100%.
Feeders and game crop. And Padraig said it was given to the farmers. I go a little bit further than Padraig there, and I'd say that a lot of gun clubs went and planted game crop themselves. I know you guys did a bit of it.
Yeah, 100%.
And I certainly know members of gun clubs who went out and
there's
got rotovators and planted it themselves.
Yeah, I'd say there's easily, he said 500, I would say more. I wouldn't say we'd be far off 800 or 900 acres of game crops sowed around the country by gun clubs, specifically for game birds, wild birds, everything. We can't, that's food, as he said himself, that's food sources for everyone. It's not just for pheasants. There's every sort of breed of bird. But anyway, great to have them on. And,
absolutely. I think we touched a little bugbear of ours. The app, the website is brilliant. Very good, very easy to use. An app would be brilliant.
Fantastic. 100%. If you had an app, that's what I was trying to say. Like you see them in the likes of Australia, you have an app. It's your go-to for everything.
Even the wing count there, Brenny, you could actually do that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
100%.
You could date stamp a photograph. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You go out,
take a pair of wings and it's in. There's no more the freezer stuff. Now I know we're a little to walk before we can run. Yeah. But this is stuff we'd like to see.
Absolutely, 100%. And unusual that you see. It can be a basis where you post something. You can say.
You've seen something unusual the other night.
What did I see the other night?
Up at the river.
Up at the river. What did I see?
On the wasn't it an otter or something you've seen?
Up in the canal.
In the canal.
Yeah, up in the canal. Yeah, that's right. During the challenge. Yeah, so cool. Yeah.
I know it's a lot of people have seen it, but
Yeah.
a lot of people would
Never
their
seen
whole
it.
life.
Yeah,
never
no,
seen
it was unbelievable. You could use it for, like, I know what to do, as I said, what to do in Australia. You shoot a deer, and you can just go up, right, this was the species, this is the area that I shot. Now, everyone obviously is not getting to see that.
Yeah.
It's specifically, that's private, like, that just goes so that they can keep account on numbers.
Yeah.
It's not like, you know, I said, I was here in this exact spot and I shot 10 deer.
Yeah.
The next day, there wouldn't be a fucking deer left.
And I think that's the point I think we probably need to get across here is the information, like, because hunters are very conservative, because we've been pushed into the shadows, and rightly so. People are wary.
Yeah.
So they're probably wary of, like, lads, we shouldn't be hiding the money we're shooting here.
Yeah.
No, we should.
Yeah.
We should, because as Padraig said there, for every man that's shooting 10 or 15 mallard, there's a member in the gun club who doesn't shoot any.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely, without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah. But you're right. As hunters and fishermen, we keep our cards very close.
And I'm looking about bringing you out Monday, man. I think you're doing this podcast to get me spot. One of the guys actually said, I was messaging us there, a man called Sean, I think he messaged there privately, one of the many messages we get in, as we say, but he said not all hunters are. I'd have to get it back up there.
Yeah.
Because my mind is gone blank.
Yeah.
Anyway, it'll come back to me.
It'll come back to me, yeah. But it was like, I was down in Mix, down in Central Guadamo here the other night. And there was a chap there, and it was just so funny, the fucking face. He says, you're into the old deer hunt. And I says, I was must be getting 2 or 3 rounds or something. Oh God, you're into the old deer hunting? No, yes, I am. Yeah, by God, yeah. And he says, what would you go for now, Sika or red? I says, I go for most of you said Sika now, where I be shooting. Oh yeah, by God, yeah. And where do you shoot the deer? I shoot them in the neck. And simple as fucking that. He just
keep cards close to you.
That's as much information as he was getting, and that's a start. But it's fucking gas to make.
I think further just to our what would you say, our interview with Padraig, we've a couple of interviews coming down the tracks with I think Dan Curley's coming on. Yeah,
looking forward to that. So, Dan Curley will be, you know him as, he's the president, I suppose, of the NARGC.
Yeah, and if I'm not mistaken, was he something in firearms as well? But anyway, look, we get more information on I don't want to give. I don't want to say anything that's incorrect. Incorrectly, but we do. We have a few.
Certainly a man with a wealth of knowledge, anyway.
A huge wealth of knowledge.
Absolutely, yeah. So look forward.
And it's great that the bigger bodies in Ireland are getting behind what we're trying to do here and trying to achieve. So. Thanks a million, guys.
No, thanks a million. Yeah. So exciting stuff coming up. What is the plan for the rest of the week? Are you going for a shot?
Well, I'm getting old tomorrow, Brenny. So I think there's
the big fucking 4-0. Jesus Christ!
I feel fucking every bit of it today.
You look at it, but anyway, that's another story.
Not all hunters shoot. Not all shooters are hunters.
Oh, that was the one.
Yeah, look, if that's my mind went blank there for a second. Yeah, I go at 40 tomorrow, so I think my darling wife has a full itinerary. I think we're out for breakfast in the morning.
Nice.
And then dinner tomorrow afternoon. And I have football matches on Saturday with kids starting back again.
Oh, man.
And then I think a few drinks Saturday night. So, yeah, that's my hunting might be
no hunting.
Poor enough.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yourself, has to be done.
You have a big day tomorrow. Yeah.
I have a big day tomorrow.
Yourself and Norman planned this round. You couldn't have picked any other day apart from the 20th of January, you know? Good man, Norman. Thanks a million for that. Yeah. You didn't want me down there. The deer will be fucking safe enough tomorrow. That's all I'm saying.
No, we'll fucking see. That's an odd dog. Yeah. I'm heading out with Norman in the morning. We're going to go for a shot. We've been trying to plan it all kind of season, and we just both have not had a chance. So I'm going to head down, and we're going to head out for a shot and a bit of a walk and a bit of a chat. And
it's lovely to see a different part of the country.
Exactly.
And I think it's fantastic mornings in Sore. I'm mildly to greatly jealous. Although I am looking forward to breakfast.
He really isn't, but I hope she doesn't listen to this podcast.
She doesn't.
But that's kind of I suppose the holy all of it. Nothing else really well going on. We'll get out with Norman see what it's all about. We're going to do a bit of a video and we will have it up on YouTube as well.
Yeah.
We're also going to bear with us. We're just trying to get both timetables to line up and get a night time up. We are going to do a very comprehensive Pulsar versus ATN video.
Yeah.
All the pros, all the cons. We're going to go through how you set zero both of them, etc., etc., and you can make your own minds up after that.
Yeah. So, just on that, we were both talking to some of the suppliers again today and yesterday. There's a big trade show on the middle of February. Middle of February.
I'm after getting invited. We're after getting invited.
We're after getting media passes to the biggest
game show in Birmingham
in Europe. So by all accounts, it's the biggest one of
the stream.
Yeah. So
Jerry Show podcast is going to be heading over to that.
Absolutely. So looking forward to seeing what's all the new tech will be on display. So fantastic.
Yeah, cannot wait for that. That's going to be great.
That's one element. Then on the other side, then we still have the firearms officer to
100%. Just trying to get in contact with him at the minute.
Trying to line up as well.
Trying him there today, but it would be great to get him on because we after our last week's episode we got inundated, but even before, because we put that it has not stopped asking questions. And
funny enough, I don't know, conspiracy or not, Brady.
Yeah, man, this somewhere. You go ahead there. I know exactly what you want to say, but this was very, very interesting.
Yeah, so I got a call today from one of the manufacturers.
Yeah.
Basically, just delving into the podcast, seeing what kind of feedback we were getting, and we were just chatting back and forward in terms of the protocol, going forward. And we were discussing that we were going to suggest as part of the overall that anyone that has their firearms up for renewal automatically tick the box for scope.
Yes.
So at least if it's on your if you've that element done, you're because there's. I don't think, our understanding again, we haven't seen one of these up close and personal, but the license to CE mark is seemingly the mark that's going to be given on your license. But I don't think the serial number of the unit. Now that might be about to change, but I think that this element of it seems to be kind of almost being rushed in.
It was very convenient that not even 5 days on from having our podcast and highlighting this issue that there was a sort of a bit of a statement released.
Yeah, it was a notice to firearms license holder. So it reads, "Dear license holder, it's come to our attention recently that some license holders are not aware of the regulations surrounding possession of night vision and laser scopes." Even that is a little bit anyway. We move. We don't want to confuse us. In the amended Firearms Act 1925-2009, the legislation specifically states that within the meaning of the term firearm that it includes GI, telescopic sights with a light beam or telescopic sights with an electronic light amplification device or an infrared device designed to be fitted to a firearm. As such, if you're found to be in possession of one of those scopes, then you must have a license for it. If you've purchased one of those scopes, please contact my office as soon as possible and we'll amend your license on the computer to specifically state that you have permission to have this type of scope. We will also then forward an updated physical license to you. There is no charge for this, and in most cases, a phone call or preferably an email will suffice. If calling the office, please ensure you have your license to hand so you can refer to it and ask for any details on it. Now that's brilliant in one sense.
And I suppose we should speculate that hasn't come directly from the horse's mouth, so we can say that's definitely from these people.
Yeah.
It's just one that's circulating at the minute. But that's why we want to definitely get our firearms superintendent on, ask him, get it done. And
I contacted our local office today.
Yeah.
Just to reach out to see could we get any confirmation on this.
Yes.
Because we want to try and give the feedback to listeners as quickly as we can possibly do.
Absolutely, yeah.
In the meantime, if anyone is updating their license, tick the box.
Absolutely.
Even if you don't have the night scope.
Yeah, 100%. Take it.
Because if your plans to get one,
your
buttocks is covered.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and I think I won't say everyone, but I think any of my mates following, from the videos and stuff we've put up, they all want one. So
yeah,
it's definitely a game changer,
Yeah, it's not going to get any smaller. So like the licensing needs to come in now. It's CE for night vision terminal, and obviously S for air suppressor. But so we've a little bit of clarification on that.
Absolutely,
a little bit more clarification. And the nice piece. Well, if that turns out to be, well then, the good thing about it is no charge to the so
yes.
But we hope that it's not a wolf in sheep's clothing and reaching out to see how many people have these.
Who has it? Then nailing it.
So hopefully it's not. I don't think it is.
I don't think it is, to be honest. I think it's just they want everything sort of done right and above board. And at the end of the day, so do we.
Absolutely, Just if there's a bit of because it makes very little difference to the person who owns one is still the safe, competent user of the firearm. So that's not going to change. All it is just to make sure that the piece of equipment that they're selling, and also if there's people listening, this is again the money that some of these scopes are. Every one of them is north of $1,000.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. And some of them are
up to $4 and $5 some of the pieces of kit. So valuable piece of equipment and valuable money into the exchequer and shops, etc. So
exactly. If we're going to get it, you just want it done right, I suppose, and that's it, isn't it?
So stay with us. We should have more information. If things are going at the pace they're going at the minute, we hope to have brought to a resolution pretty quick.
Definitely, yeah. We've been talking about getting this man on for a while, and again, it's just trying to get everything nailed down. But the focus going forward for next week, we're hoping to have him on the podcast, or someone that will put it in black and white. Next week's podcast, obviously, we're going to focus on that. I will have an update, hopefully, all going well, on how it got with Norman. So we shall see how that goes.
Yeah, we're trying to get out Monday as well. If we can.
100%.
So we'll hopefully have it. I'm running out of venison. I had venison burgers today, so.
Did you? Yeah.
It's running. It's getting low. So the young lads asking for venison liver. So it's in high demand. Have to get one.
Yeah, and you won't feel it. That season is closing in.
Man.
Closing in without a doubt, man. So it has to be done. We'll get stuck into it. Well, I suppose that's it. We're going to wrap it up for this week, which was episode 17. I hope you all enjoyed it. As usual, any feedback, any questions, anything you want clarified, give us a shout.
Two small little things. First thing, the competition is running on Facebook. Like and share. Tag a couple of friends. You're going to chance with winning one of the hoodies.
Absolutely.
They're in big demand. We're starting to ship them tomorrow, I think. Our first 10 orders, the t-shirts sold out in about an hour and a half or something. We got 20 odd t-shirts, so they sold out almost quicker than we could get them up. And I don't know, we have a few more coming. So a few Valentine's presents for a few lucky lads out there. So that's the first thing. Please like and share, because that keeps us.
And I just want to add that I just think this is class. We got a couple. I think we got 3 or 4, and I just thought this was so fucking funny. And I won't name any names. I won't give it away. We got 3 or 4 messages from obviously wives, girlfriends, partners, etc. today going, "Come here, my husband, entered the competition there to win a hoodie, and he never enters it. He never looks for any sort of clothes whatsoever. How can I just buy one? Isn't it? I couldn't stop laughing. I thought that was brilliant.
And another one then, and with the he's listening to your podcast, and I seen him liking the. Can I just get it one of the hoodies? So obviously we're on a few radios there on Saturday or Sunday morning.
Exactly. I just
so hopefully the wives are enjoying it too of the lads and vice versa.
Exactly, 100%. So bear with us. We're going to have more in stock, and as well as that, couple of the prize winners, lads, we're not forgetting about you. We were just waiting for some stickers to come in, and we want to put them in with your prizes, and we're getting them off this week as well.
That's the first thing. The just slight roll on from that. Fran O'Toole from Mountain Man Knives has kindly donated a bespoke Irish Hunting Podcast rifle sling, custom made.
It is.
So he's doing the logo. It's going to be So in the next couple of weeks, we're going to do some sort of competition. We just haven't formulated some kind of a brainwave to try and. I think that'll be something that you can hang on your wall or
class. Yeah. Anyone that's seen his work, man, it's
out of
fucking
world,
Yeah, brilliant.
And road pursuits.
Yes,
Mention
without a shadow of a doubt. Get your orders in. I think it's up now, isn't it?
Yeah.
For your March edition. Yeah.
I thought, and I'm not just saying this because we were obviously mentioning it already. It's that park that just for 1 second.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with that. The work that went into this thing, and I kept the last. This is just me, OCD. I kept the last 2 pages of mine consciously. I didn't read it. The falconry, Shell's Falcons, or I can't think of her name. It was about the falconry anyway. And I kept them. That story because I wanted to have something. Do you know what I mean? You see an hour, you wanted to,
100%.
It's almost like the last few sweets of the roses box, And I just can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, sure, same as that, man. 100%. And like I said as well, obviously, well, in the next episode, you'll see we there's a couple of pages on the challenge. You'll see that in it. But what I really, really like about it is, and I'm a sucker for buying these magazines. I've been buying them since I was a kid, man. But it was like the old, I can't remember remember was the old Shooter's Digest, the old one? And bits and pieces. But this one, the unique thing about this one is it's not full of ads. It's not full of sponsors. It's not the producers, the editor trying to sell you anything at all. It's literally different stories from different fellas, whether you're into fishing, hunting, stalking, rearing pheasants, gun dogs, whatever it is, whatever your sport of choice is, country sports related, there is something in it for you. I guarantee you that. It's brilliant.
Yeah, and something to learn. And you can close your eyes and almost envisage the story. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I just think relate to it.
Yeah. And the way it's presented, it's more than a magazine.
Absolutely, 100%.
So, well done, Sean.
Well done. Get your orders in there again.
Next episode,
it's really taken off.
And of course, a few of our competition winners have got.
Exactly, they'll have theirs in the post. They'll have their first one as well, so that's great. Happy days.
Deadly stuff, Bren. That's
lovely
me.
Stuff.
Shut the fuck up, Padraig. Good luck.
We'll wrap it up there. I have to be up in fucking a couple of hours to go hunting, but sure, look, we won't complain about it.
First world problems.
First world.
Over now, Brenny.
Over now, man. Take it easy. Have a good one. Talk to you next week.